And just like that, Jeffrey was gone, a little boy who only wanted to rest. How could we let it get this far? Mental health in adolescence seems to be going overlooked, especially in schools and or at home. That's why I chose to actively pursue a developmental psychology degree. Over the course, I studied and researched the different types of impacts on adolescent mental health. At some point, we can all relate to wanting to help others with their problems while we still have our own to deal with. Have you ever been so stressed to a point where not only are you physically fatigued, but you are emotionally drained and tired, or even mentally exhausted? Over the next few moments, I will be talking about the struggles of adolescent mental health and how school has impacted the adolescent years. I will also discuss the solutions needed to positively impact the mental health of our youth and just how you can help spread awareness. Teens and or young adults are experiencing different types of mental health disorders, typically common and developed at school or in other extracurricular activities. According to the American Psychology Association, it shows that more than 1/3 of teens report feeling fatigued, nauseated, and some even skipping meals. Teachers and parents should be educated on the mental and emotional health issue. This is simply because Rhiannon Evans states that anxiety and stress associated with school performance may encourage engagement in self-harm and suicide. Academic pressure was reported across both primary and secondary schools, where self-injury was a mechanism for coping or regaining control. Strangely, this generation is more aware about their stress and or stressors. However, unfortunately, based on the results from the American Psychology Association, 34% of teens believe that their stress levels will rise in the upcoming years. Many students are mislabeled due to the mental disorders, and they don't receive proper care. According to Rhiannon Evans from BMC Public Health, where self-harm transgresses institutional rules, it may be treated as bad behavior, meaning adequate support is denied. Unfortunately, the lack of mental health for young adolescents or students has been poor. Deborah M. Ruswick from the Division of Child and Adolescent Psychology states that even before COVID-19, the apocalypse had nothing to do with the fact that schools were already ill-equipped to meet students' and mental health needs. However, there is a way for schools to offer this, and it's through funding. But funding is not cheap. Deborah M. Westbrook states that the funding of school-based mental health supports will be necessary to prevent staff burnout and trauma effects, as well as early identification and intervention mental health problems in the increased numbers of students at high risk for adverse outcomes. Thankfully, over the past couple of years, organizations have been able to specialize and create life skills and social mental health awareness programs. Some have even gone as far as publishing and dedicating books to suicide awareness for children. These organizations are slightly different, but they still serve the same purpose. Their purpose is to continue to educate and grow not only children but adults as well. The Committee for Children is an organization that has been spreading awareness and knowledge to the children for the past 4 decades regarding social emotional learning, which is commonly known as SEL. The Committee for Children was founded in 1979 to help children who were victim to sexual abuse. But by 2020, the Committee for Children announced their goal to transform the social emotionally well-being of 100 million children annually by 2028. The Committee for Children is available to currently annually serve 20.5 million students around the world, reaching 50 states and 70 countries. The SEL two-step program is available for people of all ages in order to understand and help children understand their emotional well-being. Empower You is an organization that is founded by women provided to care for students dealing with depression and anxiety. The organization started in 2015 to find a successful way to deliver mental health services to young people. This online organization decided to help children have an independent reflection and encouragement. Empower You looks to help children authentically convey emotions through expressive creativity. Another great organization called the Children Aspen Institute was built to reflect on understanding the value of society and culture, a way to step away from your typical day. This institute started in 1945 in Colorado. The foundation donors and other partners invested more than $15 million in 3 different communities. These organizations share the process of developing self-awareness, which typically has an impact on school, work, and even your life goals. The top SEL, Social Emotional Learning, organizations share similar curriculums and end goals. Just to educate millions of people around the globe, something everyone should value should be self-awareness and social emotional learning. These things can positively impact children and you. Do take into account it's good to do further research on finding other organizations that offer different types of curriculums. Not every organization is the same. According to a study run in 2018 from Empower You, there was an increase in their GPA rate from 2.7 to 3.1, as well as the attendance improvement from 16 to 18. Not only that, but Empower You study shows that more than 93% of students who complete Empower You's online program makes a dramatic shift from discouragement and stress to improved well-being, motivation, and hope. After looking at some options to help spread awareness of SEL organizations, now is the time to make a decision. How can you better educate yourself and students on emotional and mental well-being? Let me give you some tips to help. Because of the school, staff, and parents' neglect to value Jeffrey, a 7-year-old boy whose mental and emotional well-being was distraught, he took his life. If we continue down this path, we may encounter another young victim. Now imagine if Jeffrey had been offered counseling and emotional self-awareness. Things could be different. Jeffrey would have had a way to positively express himself and understand his emotions and understand the world around him, while also being to help possibly the next person. After looking at some options to help spread awareness of SEL, now is the time to make a decision. How can you better educate yourself on student emotional and mental well-being? First, start off by looking up SEL organizations near you or that offer online courses. Secondly, you can go to any SEL organization website and donate. They take sponsors from around the globe. And as of right now, thirdly, you should get connected with different counselors and mentors. Counselors and mentors are in high demand due to the surge of COVID-19. I'm sure you've heard the quote, "The loneliest people are the kindest. The saddest people smile the brightest. The most damaged people are the wisest, all because they do not wish to see someone suffer the way they do." Jeffrey made a comment to his mother saying, "I'm tired." Jeffrey wasn't indicating to a physical exhaustion, but a mental and emotional one that was not taken seriously enough. Jeffrey could have been here today if staff and parents were better educated on mental health and environmental health. Thank you.